Over here in the right top side of the map, it's Team Dignitas, his very own show. Of course, is our blue Terran, and on the left top side of the map we have Liquid's Nony as our red American Protoss. Both of these guys, Ben, had a very unsuccessful season in the NASL, and also both these guys are guaranteed to drop out.
That's right.
Pretty sad.
The only way they will be joining us next season is if they enter and win one of the open tournaments. You don't even have to win one of the open tournaments. You just have to place very, very high.
Just have to make top 4 in a tournament with a lot of Koreans often participating, and the best of Europe and North America. So it's going to be very tough, and it saddens me, Ben, certainly because Nony started this season so well. Everybody was happy after he took out Dark Voice that first week. Everybody thought, man, is this really going to be the season of Nony? Is he actually going to be a real serious contender for one of the top spots in the division? But unfortunately, it did not play out for him that way. He was busy, he moved around, sometimes he couldn't play, he had a walkover, one time he played with lag. Needless to say, it wasn't the season of Nony.
It was not. It was not the season of Nony, and it started out so bright for him. He looked so good in his opening games.
And he was so happy in the interview. Like, if I think back of that, like, that kind of stuff makes me happy when I see other people getting really happy of StarCraft. Nony with his big grin on his face, like, you could just see the relief on his face because he played so good. He didn't just win against Dark Voice, he played really, really good. But well, Ben, it almost feels like we're talking about ancient history.
Yeah, well, it was ancient history, man. It was almost two whole months ago.
Yeah, it was week 1.
Yeah.
Anyways, man, we see show opening up with the refinery here on Tal'Darim Altar. I'm a little bit surprised, since I often say this, European Terrans, they love the no-gas fast expand openings, certainly on maps like Tal'Darim. So I kind of wonder why he's not going for it.
Kev, I just got really sad. Because we're at like the end of the season.
No, Ben, we have a lot of good stuff.
I feel like it has only just begun.
No.
But it hasn't. It's been 9 weeks.
You're getting sad. We have to look at the bright side, Ben. From now on, every game is much more important. We're going to have the wildcard playoffs soon. It's going to be super sick. We still have 3 more final play days. A lot of stuff can still happen. For instance, tomorrow, for other people just tuned in and are waiting for Hazulbs versus Hero. Unfortunately, guys, they couldn't make it today. They will be playing. They will play tomorrow. So either Froda or Greta will cast it tomorrow, or we're going to do it the day after that. So have no worries. We do apologize we couldn't bring that game today. I was really, really excited for that game, but well, Ben, that's life.
Can't always get what you want, Kev.
No. That's hard because when you like cast StarCraft 2 for a living, you kind of get used to it, you know.
But we will get what we need, and what we need is a great game out of Nony and SjoW.
Oh, I like this, Ben. I love it.
Little fake bunker saying, hey, I've expanded Nony. We'll see if Nony takes the bait. Now, Kev, we've got to predict who we think is going to take this series, and I do believe we disagree on this one. I feel like Nony has been putting in the time. He recently placed okay at the WCS, qualifying for he was top 16, which means he qualified.
Really? Ah, nice. Yeah, that is no. I think that's everything that every player wanted. Of course, what you really wanted was top 3 for some nice money in your pocket as well. But hey, as long as you qualified, certainly because Nony didn't really have the time to practice that much for a long time, and he also sacrificed MLG purely to play in the Nationals. If he made top 16, I think that's a result he can be very satisfied with.
What we do not know is what kind of shape SjoW is in. We haven't seen a whole lot of SjoW outside of the North American Star League. And well, he's going with a pretty aggressive one-base opening here. 2 racks with the factory with the reactored Hellion. So it's going to be some Marine Hellion action.
Yeah, very interesting opening here from SjoW. And I think on a map like this, Ben, on Tal'Darim, when Protoss players often open 1 gate, fast expand, I think it's very nice. Because what you often see is Protoss players getting a couple of sentries. Nony, no. Where are these units going? It would be so sick if
I think he's planning some 3-gate pressure, which is
that's not good, Ben, because these are all light armored units, and Hellions are so much quicker than these light armored units. We all know what Hellions do.
But look at this. He's going to give away the Hellions. They're going to run right into these units, and now Nony knows. And, and that means all he has to do is sit at home and warp in Stalkers, and he should be fine.
Yeah, but he's still going to end up losing probably these units. Certainly, if you're going to attack Nony, please just retreat.
Just go back. You're in such a good position, Nony. Why? Okay. Okay, good.
First 2 Hellions are making their way over on the other side of the map. He did warp in his first 2 Stalkers already, and from now on, that's definitely all that he's ever going to warp in, that's for sure. Not all that bad, certainly because these units did not die. I really think SjoW should have pulled instantly the Marines and chased it with the Hellions, because Hellions kill light armored units so quick.
I agree with you, and I kind of think from here all SjoW can do is pull his SCVs and go for it, Kev. I don't know that he can bounce back from this. He's so behind economically.
You know, Ben, despite this being all-in from SjoW, or most likely it's going to turn into an all-in, I really like it because I think it's smart. Certainly, just using the metagame, knowing how Protoss opens, I think this is so good. I really think this would be very hard to stop. I know this is one of those things that if I try to play like Nony, I would die too.
It was a good opening from SjoW, but I feel like it was opportunistic that Nony was going for this 3-gate pressure and just happened to have that pylon where he did. Now he's got a pretty good feel for what's coming.
It's far from over though, Ben. There are two Marauders on the field as well, and even it seems like SjoW is going to wait for Stim, which surprised me a little bit. He's going to pull the SCVs as well. Stim is going to be ready in 60 seconds. So, do you think he's going to wait 60 seconds?
If he waits 60 seconds, I think there's no way that this ever works, frankly, Kev. Because Nony does have a lot of energy saved up. If he makes the good force fields,
that's true, of course.
It's going to be pretty much impossible for SjoW to bust in. We'll see. These Marauders do crazy amounts of damage against the Stalkers.
Army supply, Ben, 26 against 45, and Hellions also soak up so much damage.
You're so right about that. It will be tough. Nony does have a substantial probe lead. He can afford to lose a lot of workers here, Kev.
Stim is pretty much ready, Ben. It's going literally 15 seconds. He's going to come in with the units from the south side. Of course, he does not have high ground vision. He doesn't know that Nony's positioned over here. I love Nony's positioning a lot. Oh, but the Hellions, Ben. The Hellions are going to come in from behind.
Okay, so Nony sees it. He's going to back up just a little bit. Just hold this choke, Nony. Get that Immortal out. You're going to need some good force fields here. The pressure is coming. And not the force fields I would hope for. Those second force fields are pretty good, though.
But units are still streaming through. Do we have an additional force field? Yes, we do, but the units behind the force fields are dealing so much damage.
This is going to be so very hard. Warping in Zealots. Those are not going to help against these Hellions. Nony going to back up. Immortal is out, and Nony can afford to lose these probes, frankly, but I think he's going to lose the Nexus. And look at the supplies right now. SjoW up at 70 supply. I really felt like maybe Nony could muster this defense, but it looks like SjoW's just got way too many units. Marauder, Hellion, SCV.
Crazy. With
a handful of Marines sprinkled in. Nony's entire army just evaporates. And SjoW is going to take this game. Kev, where did Nony go wrong here?
This is, I'm really like trying to wrap my mind around this. What is like the best thing that Protoss can possibly do? Nony is going to call GG. SjoW takes the first map here on Tal'Darim. And like the moment you were still casting, I was already wondering, so if I was playing right now, what would I have done?
Yeah.
What do I think that Nony did wrong? I really don't know, because there are so many Hellions, and Hellions soak up so much damage. We all know Stalks have low DPS, so it takes a long time before you kill those Hellions. Immortal, yeah, it's good against the Marauder, but is it really good against Hellions? I don't think so. Zealots, they die so quick, but maybe what you do need after all is don't try to make defensive force fields, but try to make more offensive force fields. Try to cut off a lot instead of a little bit, and then just go with everything straight away to make sure that those units can't run around and that the Zealots, they will die, but at least they do damage. Because this looks like a really, really strong build. I like the build a lot from SjoW.
Yeah, really weird spot. It's like a great build for Tal'Darim Altar. I don't know how good it is on other maps.
No.
Because if you can just back up to the top of your ramp and sit there, you're going to have a huge lead.
You're going to have the time of your life. You're like, okay, kill my Nexus. I'm going to sit in my base for a little while, have fun with your pretty weak army as soon as I have 2 Colossus. But there's no way that in the time this comes that you're going to have a Colossus. Well, maybe if you go like 1-gauge Robotics Bay, but nobody would ever do that.
I wonder, Nony made an Observer before he made an Immortal. After seeing those Hellions, is that enough of a tell to just back up and just build units, skip the Observer, and maybe have 2 Immortals out? Would that have made any difference?
You could say yes, but then again, if he makes 2 Immortals and let's say SjoW would have gone for elevator play with a Medevac, Marine and Hellions, then we would say like, yeah, it's really hard to play right now because he has no Observers, so you have no idea where the Medevac is. Like Nony doesn't know what we know, so you could say you're right. Maybe something fishy was up. Also, the fact that SjoW was faking the expand, and then with the Hellions, maybe that gives something away. But there are fast expand builds with Hellions as well. So it's really like it's easy to observe when you have no fog of war. In the position of Nony, I can really understand that you have to be paranoid about a lot of things.
Tough break for Nony. Hats off to SjoW for a really cool build.
Yeah, that's a really sick build. I don't think that's the last time we're going to see that.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, that game was brought to you by GameMinder. The GameMinder all-in to remember. We're going to take a short break and we'll be back with game number 2, Nony versus SjoW. Welcome back to the North American Star League, where we're about to jump into game number 2, SjoW versus Nony, or are we?
Apparently, like this was a game, this was not live, not like Dark Voice versus Crazy Moving, that game was played live. These games were played yesterday, but as we always say, we are completely unaware of the result, otherwise we wouldn't be sitting here. We would be sitting with fake faces. Oh, is he going to win?
I don't know what's going to happen, but actually I do.
Yeah, so we never know what happens, but just now in between the break, the Switch said like, no, we're not going to game 2, and we're like, why? Because when apparently they played these series yesterday, after game 1, Nony just signed off Battle.net.
He just disappeared. He didn't sign off Battle.net. I think he was abducted.
He signed off.
I think Braddock showed up at his house and
Ben, let's stay serious.
shows my friend.
No, Ben, like, you have to explain to people seriously
This
now
is
what happened.
I think happened, man.
No, that's not what happened.
Why is it so far-fetched that Braddock showed up and just made Nony disappear?
Well,
I think Nony might be buried in the desert somewhere.
It's that's not funny. No, in all seriousness, we have no idea what happened. We tried to contact Nony. We waited for Nony. SjoW waited for Nony. But yeah, Nony was just gone. Then we contacted the admin or his managers from Team Liquid, and they said on a certain moment, well, just forfeit him. We don't know. So that's all we can say.